Sunday afternoon, um, June 16th, 2024. And I hope everyone's having a good day. I hope everyone who is a father is having a good Father's Day. Wish my father, who's no longer with us, um, happy Father's Day. He was truly a good father, a good man. Let's see. I'm just looking around YouTube real quick, seeing what's new. If anything, see if any of our friends are live. It occurred to me that I have not had the opportunity um, to Cruise Day of Motivation and Osiris and Gus Gainesborough. They have their Sunday show, and I haven't had the opportunity to visit them in a while. That was earlier today. Hopefully, I'll remember it in next week. We'll go check them out. Squirrel Sniper's here, greeting beautiful souls from across the pond and under the same skies. Empress of the New Earth is here, says Eric. That's me. And says hi there. How are you guys today? We'll wait and see who all shows up. Sundays and weekends, are all iffy days, especially Sunday being the Father's Day. We don't know who's out there going to Sunday brunch or early Sunday dinner. Maybe dads are cooking out. So we're going to ease into the conversation. I see that our friend Empress of the New Earth has a message up on her community page. That's a great photo. Our friend Nightwatch is here, and he says, oops, what are you oopsing about? Flower says I went missing for like 3 days. It's been noticed. Everyone's asked about you. I've asked about you. How are you? And where you been? Empress says, hi, chat. So I'll be sharing some news probably throughout the afternoon, whoever pops in, that, I'm tempted to say, finally, I'm monetized. But it didn't, in the big picture things, it didn't take that long. That once I set that intention, this is what I would like to happen, everything began to flow. Of course, it takes time racking up those hours, but it was time well spent. I got to come here. I made more friends. Talked about a lot of stuff. Some good, maybe some not so good. Laura says she's good. She has been falling asleep early. It sounds like you need it. Finally. After months of everyone here telling Flower to go to sleep early, she is now going to sleep early. Squirrel Sniper says, and it is true that persuasion held from our earliest years through afterwards, shown by arguments to be false. It is not easy, and only by long and frequent attention to these arguments expelled from our belief. Rene Cortez, he thinks, therefore he is. I always thought that he had that backwards. That he is, therefore he thinks. Night Watcher says monetization. Yes, sir. Emperor says congratulations. I appreciate everyone's help. And everyone here has help, that's for sure. Noodle says, okay, bye, I'm sick, I have a fever. I'm sorry to hear that. Says he's sleeping early because of the fever. Some good advice from Sniper. Take care and drink plenty of water. Flower says, as you should. Daddy's here. Daddy, how are you, my friend? Give me a second, guys. Bringing up my desktop. Just in case bringing up my desktop. That's me. Just in case sometimes my phone doesn't always process things. We're going to click on Dottie's channel. I know I missed a video earlier today, I believe. Dottie is at 162 subscribers. Well-deserved subscribers. Beautiful story to share and a beautiful, beautiful nature videos as well. Yazin King. Is that script? Let's see. And Flower says, hi, beautiful squirrel. Yazin says, can I get the table for the car park? And can I get it for you and the car? I have no idea what that means. But I'm not saying no. I just don't know what it means. Dottie says hi to Flower. And Yazin says, good. I can see what I mean to be a bit more than I. Still not quite following you, my friend. Yazin King says, thank you for the invite to the table and chairs for you and the kids. Well, you're welcome. Everyone's invited. Dottie's good. Squirrel Snipper says, how often have we not experienced the fact that man has been deceived in the matters of which he believed that he had, what's that last part? I got an emoji blocking it. That he alone had clear knowledge. Let me read that again. How often have we been, sorry guys, let me look on the big screen. How often have we not experienced the fact that a man has been deceived in those matters of which he believed that he alone had clear knowledge? Some people believe that his thinking caused the mind-body split, or the spirit-body split. Definitely something to take in consideration. Emperor says, driving but listening in as well. Awesome. Brian Lane is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Eric. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty well. Reaper says, Eric, happy Father's Day to the real dads out there. Thank you for that. Lewis, how are you? Dottie says, tonight is another scheduled video at 7:30 p.m. That's Great Britain time. Would love to see some of your comments. I would like to make it. And we'll see. Hopefully. Laura says, yeah, happy Father's Day. Dottie says she has subbed to you, Empress. Awesome. Thank you for that. Empress says, Happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the chat and to Eric. I actually got a Father's Day present. Mocha brought it over. It is a night vision filming device so that I can catch some things at night that I would otherwise miss. So that means different type of owl photos, and especially when things get darker in the morning, as they will in just a matter of a month or so. Reaper says, doing great, Eric. Thank you. How are you? I'm doing well. I am, I'll say it once again, I'm officially monetized. It took me, I think I set the intention that I was going to do this right around New Year's or so. And I wanted to see what I could do with my channel. So we're talking 6-ish months or so. Flower says, hello, my dear Emperor. Daddy says if he could make it, Eric, we'll stay up. I'm going to try, my friend. Reaper says, Brian the Monster. Yeah, he is. He's got power to spare. Daddy says, how cool is that, Eric? Night vision. Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm just imagining the stuff that I'll be able to catch in the morning that I've missed. I've seen it, but I haven't been able to get it on film or video. Flower says she needs to finish her drawing for her dad. That's nice. It's a nice gift. You see a friend Ahmed is here. Ahmed, how are you, my friend? Flower says, yay, you're monetized. Yes, I am. I could not have done it with each and every one of you, honestly. Just showing up here has helped, and it's been amazing. Flower says, you get a yappy. Much appreciated. I appreciate the yappy. Brian says, yeah, just had to make sure I left a Happy Father's Day comment to Leo. Said so, it's been amazing watching him grow. He's put his heart and sweat into each burpee. Yeah, he does. He's been showing up. Oh, hey, Empress, it is Mir Ahmed who has helped with your channel. Ahmed says, hello, dear Earth, dear Empress. Brian says, Happy Father's Day, Eric. Thank you. You know, there was a time I made a distinction between being a stepfather and a father, feeling like I didn't deserve to hear that. But both Mocha as well as my stepchild have made it clear that, you know, I've been a father. Reaper says, my neighbor has military night vision goggles, and he let me use them. It's pretty badass. Enjoy, Eric. Thank you. This is like binoculars with the night vision built in and a camcorder. So I will be filming all kinds of stuff. Daddy says, yes, Happy Father's Day to all the great dads out there. Reaper says Leo is creeping up to the top for sure. Leo, Jacob, both of them. Ahmed says, Happy Father's Day, everyone. Thank you, my friend. Reaper says, no, if you provide and help raise a child, you are the dad, Eric. Thank you for that. And when Mocha was in Iraq, when she was stationed there, it was just me and my stepchild. I had the good fortune of our friend Empress being there to make sure I was doing a good job. Squirrel Sniper says, very wisely and very kindly, any man that cares for any living creature will enjoy this day. Amen to that. Reaper says, well, there it is, Eric. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you sometimes wonder. As my stepchild is now 31, wow. She tells me herself, that I was there when she needed. Let's see. Emmett says, today, amazing experience. I have a live stream near Viral. Everyone visit there, please. Was that the one I saw early this morning? I'm happy to visit. So what is considered what's considered viral? So yep, I was there this morning. I was happy to be there. I got it up again. It says, sir, thanks for your kindness. Entirely my pleasure. I get an immense sense of satisfaction helping people out on their YouTube journey. If there's something, if you guys have a goal, and if there's a way I can help you, let me know. I will do what I can. I'll make sure to mention you here. We can ask other people to help as well. Speaking of YouTube journeys, make sure you check out Burpee Reaper's pigeon video, bird video. I love seeing people expand in whatever way they feel called to do so. I got that video up now. It's a nice looking pigeon up in his gym. Make sure you guys check it out. Signature is here. Signature, my friend, how are you? Greetings from the UK, and thumbs up for me, and happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to you, my friend. Make sure you check out beautiful adventure. So definitely, in my own taking my own YouTube path and realizing that the way to, however you want to view success, the way to get there is through helping other people, and that means expanding out of your I don't want to say your comfort zone, but your like sense of uh, what you appreciate, and just looking further, see what other people have to offer, especially those who might be completely different from you, such as gamers. I never would have thought that I would spend as much time as I do on a gaming channel, and I didn't do it just to help myself. Um, you go there in order to help them, but in order to help them, you sort of got to get to know what's going on. I don't want to recommend someone's channel if I don't know what it's about. So you go and you spend time, and I met some really great friends with some really good channels. Signature says, welcome. Ahmed says, hello, Signature. How are you, buddy? And mentions his new live stream. Goldie's here. Goldie says, hi there, lovely people. Hello there, lovely Goldie. How are you today? Enjoying your day off? Goldie says, happy Father's Day. Very much appreciated. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go. Goldie says she is. Awesome. Happy to hear that. Cooking mashed potatoes and breaded chicken. Sounds like a like it would be a filling dinner. Let's see. Scroll Sample says, over a century ago, after examining over 500 years of scientific and eyewitness reports, Charles Fort wrote a cryptic statement. What was that? Ahmed is asking Goldie to watch his new live stream. It's near viral. So how many views makes a viral video? We could look that up. Scroll Sepper says, 1 second. And we'll be back to what Scroll Sepper says. There we go. Mashed potatoes is comfort food for me, and my daughter asked for breaded chicken. That's a great combination. Squirrel Semper says there have been suggestions of an occult control over the minds of the inhabitants of this earth. Goldie says, I'll send Princess Vampire a little bit later. She's watching UK Medic right now. I didn't realize it was Medic's time right now. I did a quick scan through and didn't see anyone else live. Let's see. And Sniper continues. He then produced 4 books to back this incredible claim. We will review the most amazing statements of Fort's over 1,000 pages of data to find some incredibly fascinating discoveries. Goldie says she's starting her huge exams tomorrow. Sending prayers and good thoughts and lots of energy to your daughter, as well as you, as I know that you're going to be experiencing that along with her. I think every mother, every parent, when they have that big event in a child's life, it is as much theirs as it is anyone's. Reaper says, guys, help me choose my daughter is taking out to eat later. Where should I go to eat? And no, I don't know. I don't. And no, I don't what it is today. What are the options? Sniper says he's very excited. Oh, I missed this right here. Did I miss something? Did I miss you? Did I miss something from Sniper? Says I'm very excited. So you got 1,000 pages of data in front of you, ready to dive in. Goldie says, no, one of his marathon live streams. Reaper says he doesn't care what. I'll eat anything. Hey, what was it the other day that you said you hadn't, when we were talking with Unc? This might be a few weeks ago. You said you hadn't tried. You a fan of sushi? When I did eat sushi, my only complaint was I could eat a lot of sushi. And it can be expensive. Hey, that's an excellent suggestion from Goldie. What is her favorite? You might make it enjoyable for both of you. Nice. Reaper says, it's Father's Day. So, what's my favorite today? For me, had I done my regular Sunday brunch that I haven't done in quite some time, really haven't gotten back into it ever since COVID. And then after my father's death, I just sort of I lost the heart for a lot of stuff. It would have been pancakes for me. It would have been a pancake brunch. Goldie says, yes, here, but since you don't know what to choose, you seem to have a fondness for burritos. And you can't go wrong with burritos. She said, whatever I wanted, wherever I wanted to go, definitely a cheat day. If any day is going to be a cheat day, it should be Father's Day. There you go. Reaper says she's buying. So you want it to be expensive. Hey, here's something totally out of the ordinary. Is there a vegan restaurant? One second, guys. So, Goldie, I'm not sure if you heard earlier. Reaper says it doesn't want vegan. That was easy. That was an easy choice. So what we should have said was, I'll try anything. And then in parentheses, except for vegan. Sniper says T-bone. So what has it, Reaper, what's been on your mind that you would have liked to have tried, but you just never got around to doing it? Reaper says Outback Steakhouse. Scroller says, Noble Scrolling Traveler. I finally got that right. I stopped saying savage. Not that you're not a savage, man. Back to doing your one punch workouts. Says you're amazing, Yogi. Thank you, my friend. So I'll announce it again because we have a few people in here that weren't here earlier. I have achieved monetizing my channel as of this morning. You are officially looking at a paid man. As we speak, I'm earning my income. If I make enough money, I'm going to fly out to San Diego and take Burpee Reaper out to a vegan restaurant. Because I know if I fly out to San Diego and I'm paying, that Burpee Reaper won't say no to a vegan restaurant. Reaper says, I'm thinking, Eric, because I love food, so my mind is going wild. Literally like a kid in a candy shop, or a kid in an Outback Steakhouse, or a kid in a Mexican restaurant, or a kid, hey, you said you never had Indian food. There you go. Indian food. It just occurred to me, it was only a couple days ago. Reaper said he has never had Indian food. Goldie says, yay. Big celebration from Squirrel Sniper. Thank you. And I get a congratulations. Noble says you have reached 4,000 watch hours. I have reached 4,000 watch hours as of this morning. Reaper says, yes, I'll go, Eric, and then we can do some burpees. Hey, there is a new 100-mile race in San Diego that looks absolutely amazing. If I ever get back into racing, I'll go do that. You can pace me. Pacing means that you could do 20 miles with me towards the end of the race. And then we'll go out to a vegan restaurant and we'll do some burpees after. Reaper says, oh yeah, Indian food. Reaper says, congratulations. Eric Point says, you that Reaper, Eric's going to treat you to lettuce. Hey, flavored lettuce. Not just plain old lettuce, flavored lettuce. Lettuce in the shape of a burger. Burrito lettuce. Lettuce and vegan meatballs. Scrambled lettuce. I'm trying to... What else can we do with lettuce here, guys? Eric Point says, congratulations, Yogi. Thank you for that. Reaper says, sounds like a great day. He's down. Awesome. Noble says, congratulations. I am only at 2,000. You're halfway there. Thank you for helping me with watch hours, and I will continue helping you with watch hours, my friend. So I definitely want to take it. I've mentioned up above, I would not have made it. You don't do that on your own. To get watch hours, it takes people to watch. To have people watch, means you have friends. It is the friends that I've made that have brought me to 4,000 watch hours. So thank you, each and every one of you. Even someone who just showed up once, who spent some time here. Even someone who showed up once and made a ball joke. Um, all of that, all of it added up. Don't discount where a gift might come from. Squirrel Snapper says with a sprinkle of salt. Lettuce with a sprinkle of salt. You know what? The salt is extra, and it might cost too much, so we're just going with the plain lettuce, I think. Oh yeah, Goldie says, Happy Father's Day to Eric LaPointe. Definitely. Reaper says, lettuce with lime and some salt. You see what happens? You offer to take a friend out to dinner, and they automatically start adding stuff in. It can't just be lettuce, but now, according to Squirrel Sniper, it has to be lettuce with salt. And according to Reaper, now it has to be lettuce with lime and some salt. This is just getting way too expensive for me, guys. I might have to call the whole thing off. I gotta rethink this now. Ahmed says, congrats. Thank you, my friend. You've been a huge help for me. A huge help, a huge support, and an awesome friend. Noble says, how does money work with YouTube? We're going to find out. As I mentioned, you're now looking at I'm getting paid for this. So time is money, my friends. I don't have time for this. I got stuff to do. I think you get paid between the 21st and the 26th, and it's you got to meet a minimum of $100, or it rolls over to the next month. I don't know what you get per ad or how it works. I'll find out. Goldie says, Noble, did you set a deadline? That's an important question. Everything changes with a deadline. Everything changes. Squirrel Sniper says, Reaper, try with kiwi too. Noble says, Goldie, hopefully by September or October. Hey, do you know when you started doing live streams? The exact date? Because then you start dropping some hours. So I started doing live streams in July. So I really wanted to make it before July. Although I never got a ton of people in those early days. I don't get a ton of people now. I get the right people now. Laradox is here. Laradox, how are you, my friend? Reaper says, Sniper, you onto something with that. Can't go wrong with kiwi. Reaper says, I'll watch your ads, Eric. I appreciate that. Hopefully there'll be good ads. There'll be, things that are useful. I'm in a little bit of a paradox of commercialism and being a non-commercialism person. Paradox wants to know if Squirrel Sniper is a Christian. Let's see. So, Noble says he started doing live streams in February. Hey, that's really good progress, man. 2,000 hours in that amount of time. You're halfway there and counting. Knowing that you're halfway there, I'm going to step up my game. Definitely put in some more time with Noble Scrolling Traveler. Go through your whole playlist. Let's see. There you go up to your channel. So, I'd say you have until next February, although you're probably going to want to do it sooner. But just know that in the back of your mind, the hard cutoff time. Not that you can't do it afterwards, but that hard cutoff time would be February. And then set that time and work your channel. I worked my channel like it was a joyful job. Um, Everything I do here, live stream, it's all done joyfully. But it's also done purposely, as well as being spontaneous. By purposely, I don't mean I come here knowing what I'm going to talk about. I certainly don't. Squirrel Sniper says he was raised a Christian, had no choice. Yeah, I was raised Catholic. Squirrel Sniper said, or I'm sorry, Wolf says, Sniper, there's always a choice. Wolf, welcome, my friend. Noble says, thank you, sir. Hey, you know, I mentioned this before, and I mentioned this yesterday when we were talking about your channel, that I was talking about your channel. You bring a lot of joy. Anyone who comes by you. It's just, it's a happy place to be. Even when, you know, even when you were, not as quite as exuberant, things going on, we all have, you know, all of our lives, you still put out positive, caring, joyful message at all times. Leo said so. Happy Father's Day to you, my friend. Brother Eric, happy Sunday to you all. Hit me with some knowledge, brother. Man, putting me on the spot. We'll see what comes spontaneous somewhere along the line. Here's one thing I do know. I have a little issue with the word knowledge. Because for me, it's flexible. I don't know what I know until I say it. And I certainly don't know what I don't know. But here's what I do know for certain. You go to Leo Setso's channel and you see someone showing up day after day after day. I remember when you were under 100 and there was some issues, a little banged up, little aches and pains and some dings, and Leo showed up and worked his way through it. Didn't take a day off. He is now at, what was it, 161? 161 days of burpees in a row. No break. All gas. Awesome. So that's what I know. That's the knowledge that I'll drop, is that if you want to see how it's done, go visit Leo Said So. And definitely, guys, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to Leo Said So. Because not only is he's putting in the work, but one, you get to see an awesome little puppy. And he has a positive message that he's putting out. Do the work and you'll succeed. Reaper. Burpee Reaper. Saluting. Leo Said So. That's high praise. Wolf says, and happy Father's Day to all who apply. Thank you for that. Goldie says she's only listening in. Don't want to burn the breaded chicken. Definitely don't want to do that. Nor the potatoes. I've mentioned my issues with mashed potatoes before. My teeth are perfectly fine with the mashing. I don't need help. I don't need them pre-mashed. I know it comes with extra stuff. I just need potatoes. Guys, my last name's McCarty. Irish, Scotch-Irish to be exact. Probably more Scottish than Irish, I think. But either way, the Irish side of me knows its way around a potato. I'll do my own mashing. Not only that, I will stalk and capture my own wild potato. I'm a hunter at heart, but also a vegan. So I gotta limit my hunting. So it comes to gathering lettuce, so I can take Burpee Reaper to a vegan restaurant one day, and stalking and capturing wild potatoes. I don't know if anyone remembers Joel Gibbons. He was a naturalist, had commercials for grape nuts back in the 70s. And he wrote a book, Stalking the Wild Asparagus. Excellent book. He was an excellent naturalist as well. Early inspiration for me for getting out in nature. Leo says, Brother Lapointe, you are a legend, sir. Hey, anyone who comes up with a wood splitter burpee on his very second burpee session doesn't get more legendary than that. Let's see. Leo said, bro, thank you, my guy. Damn, what a shout out. Well deserved. I don't just put them, our good friend Night Watcher said that I give wrenches willy-nilly, and he's absolutely right about that. But shout outs come from the heart. Shout outs come from what I see when I visit you guys. You get a salute from Eric Lapointe and 100 from the Burpee Reaper. I'll tell you what, the burpee community will step up for you, but it does make a demand. Show up, put the work in. Doesn't mean put the work in the way someone else does. Doesn't mean you got to show up 161 days in a row. Doesn't mean that you have to have the intensity of a burpee reaper. Few people do. Means that you show up and do what you do. Without making excuses, without making apologies. You just do the reps that you're capable of doing when you're capable of doing them. That's what Eric Lapointe did. And he just showed up. He announced it. Hey guys, I'm starting out. Here it is. Here's me doing burpees. And in short order, everyone showed up for Eric Lapointe. The reason for that also, because if you look around YouTube, you find that Eric Lapointe shows up for everyone else. This is why his channel has grown in leaps and bounds. Let's go visit Eric Lapointe. I was there earlier this morning. $293 subscribers. Well deserved. He will be breaking 300 very shortly. Reaper says, facts, Eric. Eric Point says, thanks to everyone. It is thanks to everyone, but again, it's a community, but it's a community made up of individual people. Not only that, it's a community made up of individual reps. You got to get the reps in. How you do them is entirely up to you. How many you do is entirely up to you. Right now, I'm taking a minimalist approach, but I've run the entire gauntlet of burpeedom, with the exception of hitting the Holy Grail. At the time, my interest was, what I haven't seen anyone do for a while is the Pelican Bay routine. That used to be one of my favorite. At the time, I was interested in the Busy Dad program. How many could I get in 20 reps? How many Navy SEALs? And I had some goals. And how many 6 counts? Oh, Reaper says, Damon Eric, what is it? You work from 30 reps down. Generally speaking, it's 6 counts, but it doesn't have to be. You work from 30 reps down and you have 30 seconds between each round. So you do 30, you got 30 seconds, and then you do 29, 28, 27, all the way down to 1. And then you throw in an additional 65 reps at the end to make 500 reps. So you only got that 30 seconds. Named after the infamous Pelican Bay. Whether or not it actually originated in Pelican Bay Penitentiary, probably done in penitentiaries all over the place, but that's what made it infamous. That was one of my favorites. And I would do that after a 20-minute busy dad session. Reaper says, okay, 500 sounds doable. Yeah, it is. And it makes it doable. I like counting down. And it puts it in a very quantifiable position. But for some people, I don't think it'll be an issue for, well, I know it won't be an issue for Burpee Reaper. For some people, that 30 seconds is a bit of a game changer. What I would always like to do is try to do it unbroken, even with a 30-second break, and stay in one spot. Since I started doing the nasal breathing, everything's been unbroken except for my intervals. Nasal breathing intervals absolutely sucks. Reaper says, just hate counting. Yeah, it is a lot of counting. Of course, you only got to do 30. Then you got to do, one of the good things for me is I don't have to count out loud because I'm nasal breathing. Leo's laughing at that. Wolf says I would lose count at 20. Yeah, that's an issue for me. After I run out of fingers and I move on to my toes, I got a nose and an ear and a few other unmentionable counting tools, and then I'm out of luck. I can count to 24. Leo said Reaper usually got someone keeping count for him. Sniper says, to Wolf, I was born into Christianity. I didn't choose. I questioned religious beliefs very early, maybe 6 or 7 years old. I knew about source. I don't need a building or a middleman. I agree with that. I don't think anyone does, but not everyone realizes it. So that's important that you start asking yourself those questions. Why am I turning to someone to answer questions about the infinite, about the ineffable? Why am I turning to someone to answer questions about the mystery of which I am part of? Why does this person have any more answers than I do? And how did he get those answers? Did someone give them to him? And if someone gave them to him, did he hear it right? Was it translated right? Leo says, all praise to Sister Destiny. Got to put that praise out there for Destiny, that's for sure. She's been in everyone's corner. Reaper says, if you got to put 6 counts on the title, don't we need to hear the count for it to count as a 6 count? Officially, yes. Everything has to be counted. Every position. You got to get to 6. Then you start over. Which is why I haven't done 6 counts since I started doing nasal breathing. Cypress says, we're all connected through source. Exactly. Definitely don't need that middleman. I think a middleman can be helpful to say to you, we're all connected through the source. Look for those answers. I can help clarify, but I can't give you answers. In A Course in Miracles, they say, words are but symbols twice removed. Symbols of symbols, therefore twice removed. Leo says, good question, Lewis. I've never count. I think, let's see. Assume we all know the movements. Yeah, it's not so much for knowing the movements. It's a game changer. Do a set and see what you guys think. It's almost a different movement. I can do, when I was doing the Busy Dad program, I could easily do 250 plus One pump burpees. I think I might have did 270 one pump burpees. My best doing 6 counts was only, I think, 249. I might have broke 250. I'm not sure. So yeah, because the breathing's different, you're holding each position just long enough to get that count in. If you look at Iron Wolf stuff, he'd even tell the fast people, you got to slow down. It's more of a military precision exercise. So yeah, there's definitely a difference. The same with counting out the Navy SEALs, which I don't like doing. Wolf says, Sniper, we all need guidance. Why should take things in and filter out what's not good for us? Okay, I wouldn't argue that, Wolf. But I think there's a difference between guidance and especially guidance where someone has been there and has asked those all-important questions themselves, and someone who sets himself up as an authority and says, you got to ask the right questions. They have to be church-sanctioned questions. Yeah, I highly recommend people trying the 6 counts and then trying the one pumps. And then let me know what you guys think. Some people might, after training 6 counts, they might find it actually, I don't know, easier. I don't know. It's the same with 8 count bodybuilders, which used to be one of my favorites. Sniper says to Wolf, it's called discernment. It comes in handy with my intuition. Discernment is a valuable tool. Not everyone gets it at an early enough age. It seems that Sniper was gifted with a curious mind at a very young age. Reaper says, focus is the name for 6 counts. Exactly. Reaper says, so it's the count out loud that matters? Well, it's got to be the 6 count. Each position has to be counted out loud. And it has to be clear. Because, again, it's a military thing. The drill sergeant would say, you know, I got to hear it. And if you don't hear it, you keep doing them over and over again. So, yep, Leo says, so it's a count out loud that matters. Then, because I never count out loud in my head, yes, to maintain the movement and the structure. But each count of each motion causes that brief pause. So it makes it just a little bit harder. It's like you're briefly holding a plank, briefly holding that down position, briefly holding the up position again. Ahmed says, here not to listen because I am in a meeting. Well, I appreciate you popping in. Sniper says, the truth overrides any laws. Yep, I think you need to know, I agree with Wolf about the guidance, but you got to be careful where you get it. Because guidance can easily turn into being indoctrined. Good guidance should have you, shouldn't give you answers, but should lead you towards where the answers lie and have you discover it yourself. Reaper says, try them, Leo. Maybe you might be the one that convinces me about the 6 counts. If you ever visit Max Edwards, Busy Dad, he makes a good case on why he picked it, why he chose these exercises. Leo says, I'm going to do a quick 100 out loud and 100 silent for the difference video tomorrow. That would be awesome. Hey, Leo, before you do that, go visit Busy Dad and have him listen to how he explains to do each movement so that when you do it for science to see which one is better, you're hitting it 100% burpee regulation style. And then, you know what? I'm going to put out a challenge. I've never put out a burpee challenge in 903 days now of burpees in a row. I've only seen Paul from Oregon do a couple minutes worth of nasal breathing, and Osiris did it a while back with his sister. So 100 nasal breathing burpees, not breathing out of the mouth at all. And let me know what you think. So now we're talking 300 burpees for Leo Said So tomorrow. 100 6 counts out loud, 100 silent, 100 nasal breathing. Nasal breathing is a game changer. Everything changes. Wolf says, Leo, the difference may be only the difficulty of breathing. I think Wolf nails it right there with that. Reaper says, now we're talking men. That won't be a problem for Leo. Leo Said So said, I got your 300 it is. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Hey, my first burpee challenge, and Leo stepped right up. Stepped right up and took it. That's awesome. Says, I'll tag you in my vid. I'm going to definitely make sure I'm going to share that one out. Every rep, when you're doing the nasal breathing, every rep has to be mindful, because with that kind of exertion, we're so used to sucking in air however we can get it, that it's easy to, without even noticing that, oops, I'm breathing through my mouth. I need to start over. When I went strict nasal breathing, it definitely became part of my yoga practice. I always say that everything's my yoga practice. All of it. All of life is my yoga practice. But everything changed with the nasal breathing. Squirrel Sapper says, the school will teach you about intuition. Fish school, they swim in the same direction and all at the same speed, just like learning as fast as the slowest. Now that's education system. And what a shame, because you know what? Schools could, I believe, like the Rudolf Steiner Academy teaches things a little differently, but they're few and far between. Schools could teach intuition. Schools could help you develop empathy and compassion. Schools could offer quite a bit, and they don't. What they give you is information. Not even knowledge. They give you information. Imagine if schools decided that they wanted to teach you how to acquire knowledge on your own, how to go about it, how to channel the energies of the universe, how to channel the secrets of the cosmos. How much different that would be. Reaper says, we're stepping out of the comfort zone. Leo, let's go. Big time. That's huge. 300 reps in diverse style. And you heard it here on Just a Yogi doing burpees in his basement. Leo Said So steps up. Excuse me, guys. Got some allergy issues today. Leo Said So says, you already know, bro. We here to work and make progress. And Leo definitely knows about work. Burpee Reaper definitely knows about work. Reaper says, it's crazy to think that 6 count is harder than a 5 pump session. I'm scared. I don't know. I don't know if it's harder than 5 pump. Different. I think Wolf nailed it. It's going to be, just a different breathing pattern. But that breathing pattern, is definitely a bit of a game changer. The first day I did nasal breathing, I was still training hard with the Busy Dad routine. I was regularly hitting 240 in under 20 minutes. And then I switched to nasal breathing. And of course, I couldn't do 6 counts because if you count out loud during nasal breathing, you breathe through your mouth. So the mouth's got to be shut the entire time. I struggle to get over 200. Reaper says, Eric, does that mean we'll see you do 300 also? It's been a while since I've done 300. Tomorrow is supposed to be a slow session. My only issue is doing the 6 count because it's been about 6 months since I've done only nasal breathing. So I got a bit of a streak going. I could do I could step up and maybe try to do 300 nasal breathing. Don't want to let you guys down. I don't want to have you guys do it on your own. So I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about how I could set it up. Wolf says, I don't know what that a Reaper was scared of anything. Only briefly, until he steps on the platform, and then nothing else matters. Sniper says, how about 2 lots of 3 counts simultaneously? That might be a little too mathematical for me. Leo said so. All work, brothers. I've got this. No doubt. Reaper says the Reaper will show up. Trust. Don't have any doubt about that either. Leo said so. Waking up early for this one. Excited. A challenge makes the drive kick in. I'm not sure how I would. So if I did the 6 count, it would end my nasal breathing streak. And then I wouldn't have much difference between my 1 pumps and my nasal breathing because it would be the exact same thing. So it would end up being just 200 1 pumps nasal breathing with 100 6 counts. Again, which I haven't done in a long time. Theo says, don't break the streak. I appreciate that. What I might do is just a slow 300 nasal breathing. Just to keep that number in solidarity with my burpee brothers. Our friend William Downey is here. William says, happy Father's Day, Yogi. Thank you, my friend. Happy Father's Day to you as well. Just working. Hope you're doing well. 4 hours to go. You can do it. 4 hours will fly by. Leo says, do nasal only. All good, brother. Thank you for that. Hey, hold up for 1 second. Well, I'm not sure if I can do it. I was going to drop Busy Dad's link. Let me know if that works, guys. You know what? I don't hear people talking about Max too much in the community anymore. I know he stepped up to help out on World Burpee Day. Flower, thanks for still being here. Thanks for sticking in for a while. Flower says, my head off to sleep. Yogi, have a good day. You too, Flower. Again, thank you for being here. And hey, Flower, you were a big help in me getting monetized. A big help, a good friend, and a huge support. Thank you. Wolf says hi to Flower. Leo says, doesn't work, brother, but I'm sub to Busy Dad. Awesome. She'll study the 6 count and show out tomorrow. Awesome. Man, I'm looking forward to this. Master Sergeant, retired. Mocha is here. It says, hello, everyone. Wolf says, hi to Master Sergeant. So, hey, speaking of shout-outs, I most certainly would not be monetized without Mocha. Across the board. The support was awesome, but more than the support was the thought and the faith that I was capable of doing it, which has been a consistent theme in 22 and a half years of Mocha having faith in the things, no matter how ridiculous, no matter how outlandish, no matter how difficult, has been the faith that Mocha's had that I was capable of doing it. And that includes running 100 miles at one time, a couple times. Goldie says hi to Wolf and Laradox. And hi there, lovely Mocha. Squirrel Sniper says hi to Mocha. Let's see. Goldie says, McCarty, I'm going to scold you. What am I going to be scolded for? I'm almost positive that I deserve to be scolded, but I need specifics. Mocha says, hi there, lovely Goldie. Our friend Relaxing has a live stream up. I do enjoy his live stream because it's just, as is the title, it's just a relaxing thing to be, a relaxing place to be. Reaper says, we need to introduce Leo to Duncan. Oh, yeah. There'll definitely be some challenges flying around there. So Reaper and Leo will be the only two people that I know of, aside from Osiris. Paul from Oregon would do some at the beginning and then as a practice, which is a good way to do it. But yeah, Leo and Reaper will be the only ones that I know doing 100 reps. Nasal breathing, and they're doing it the hard way because they're going to be out of breath doing the Navy SEALs, doing the 1 pumps, and then doing the nasal breathing, all in the name of science. What I would like is some graphs drawn, maybe some pie charts, maybe a PowerPoint presentation, comparing and contrasting. Let's see. Hey, Reaper, have you decided on Indian food for sure? Moon says, Goldie, what didn't he do now? It's always something. Duncan says, both crazy asses that love challenges. Yeah, that's absolutely true. Actually, all three of you. Neither one of you, hesitated for even an instant. Both are like, sure, let's give it a try. Ah, okay. Here it is. I feel in love with mashed potatoes when I almost died because of a burst appendix. It was still communism, and the ambulance showed up 9 hours later. It was Christmas before I turned 8 years old. Which makes it the perfect comfort food for you. 100%. If any one of those things, that would be enough. But all of them together, 100%. Now note, in my defense, I didn't say I only described my issue. And boy, we don't have time for me to describe all my issues. Mocha can definitely back that up. I have issues, especially concerning food. So I fully support the love and the comfort for mashed potatoes for other people. For me, I need to master myself. Reaper says, now you get me thinking of those damn 6 counts. It's a bit of an art form. I'm actually looking forward to seeing you do that because you got such a flowing style. Everything looks fluid. That I'm looking forward to seeing the Reaperization, the Lewis transformative Lewis experience of 6 counts into the Burpee Reaper style. Wolf says, go to that scary. It certainly is. The burst appendix always scared me a little bit, especially when I was like out backpacking or even doing an ultra, and you're so far away from everything, and it just, no inclination. It just seems to happen. No warning. Goldie says she goes to church because I believe that's the only place I can find God, or that I need a intermediate between me and God. But because I love talking with the people who go there. It's the community. I can see that. In yoga and Buddhism, it's called the Sangha, which literally means community, spiritual community, people gathering in faith. Not to bolster their faith, but to share their faith. And there's magic and energy in that sharing. Goldie, where is it in the Bible when one or more people gather in my name? Which is the same as in manifesting. If you wish to manifest something in your life, it helps to keep it a secret because it gathers energy. And if you share it with the wrong people, it diminishes the energy. But at the same time, having a joint meditation experience definitely gives energy to that. Sniper says it's not the mashing, it's the simmering the potatoes from cold water first and not straight into simmering water. It's definitely an art form there too. And the proper mashing of a potato. Goldie says she wasn't far away, maybe a mile from the hospital. but I couldn't walk anymore. Goldie says, yes, and Sniper says 2 or more gather. Um, now it's 2 or 3 gather. Let's see. Ahmed says, once again, Ahmed says, stay blessed. You as well, my friend. Appreciate that very much. So, as we heard earlier in the conversation, our friend Noble is halfway to his watch hours. He puts in some marathon live stream sessions. He can definitely get there by October, September maybe, October. Goldie gave a perfect perfect what's the word I'm looking for? Set a deadline. Have that goal. Have a goal post that you're shooting for. I started thinking, and again, this was back in February-ish, that I'd like to be able to do it by the first day of summer or the last day of spring. And I made it by, what, I guess 4 days to spare. Here's what helps. Here's what helps. Here's the secret to getting your watch hours, guys. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't think you can do it on your own. Maybe you can, but you know what? It's a whole lot easier having help. It's a whole lot more fun having help because you get to interact with those people who are willing to step up. And that interaction, as we're talking about here with the community, that community is everything. Realize you don't do it on your own. For one, yes, you may be in front of the camera, but it takes people to show up and watch. And they get the right people to show up and watch. It helps to show up and watch other people. Help other people grow their channel, not because you get something out of it, but because you are, because you believe in their channel, because you want to help them, or you believe in them themselves, or you simply like them. Goldie says, scolding done. Scolding accepted, my friend. I am never afraid to be scolded for a good cause, good reason. I found it, I think it was easier getting subscribers because I didn't care about how I got them at the time. And that was probably a mistake. That, you know, when you start thinking about growing your channel, every subscriber is good. But you got to ask yourself, is that true? In hindsight, no. I think in hindsight, I would have been happier just getting 1,000 or so, but having 1,000 that really care about your channel versus having 5,000. Now, the channel definitely started growing again when I was able to build that community, the actual community, showing up, Mayhem and Miracles, showing up, James Gype, and then you literally make friendships. And that's when the channel started to grow sincerely, not just numbers, but actually people. I think one of the mistakes that we make on YouTube is confusing numbers for people. Not the same thing. Do you have 5,000 subscribers or do you have 1,000 people showing up? You know who's a good example for that? Eric Lapointe. Eric Lapointe has I forget how many subscribers. 200, I think it was 293. Eric LaPointe has 293 friends showing up. That's the big difference. That's an amazing difference, because those 293 are people that are invested in Eric LaPointe. And it'll grow because they'll share his stuff with other people, and they'll share with other people, and you'll hit the 100th monkey. I think Squirrel Sniper will like that reference. You'll hit that 100th monkey and the channel critical mass, and it'll just expand on its own. Another thing, Eric LaPointe, I don't think, growing his channel is like a huge thing for Eric LaPointe. But hey, if you have a channel and you're putting out content, it's nice to get it bigger, to have people appreciate what you're doing. But another thing that I like that Eric is doing, early live streams, because then you start getting watch hours early on. It took me a while before I started, before I even knew what a watch hour was, to be honest with you. And I still have quite a bit to learn. Fortunately for me, I'm not much interested in learning how other people do things. Yeah, I know it's helpful, but I have a long history of blundering through things. Not that I don't like having some things laid out for me. When I ran ultras, I had a game plan, I had a training plan, everything in place. I didn't want to just go out and make mistakes for the sake of making mistakes. And it was the same with growing a channel. I want it to be uniquely mine, but at the same time, to have it define my success, what I think a channel, what I want my channel to be as a success. And I think our friend Noble is heading in that direction as well. I think Noble is, he has his own definition. This is what he wants to do. You can almost think of Noble as a performative artist. That he's there to entertain and to make people feel comfortable in a totally unique, noble way. I have seen recently that there's some channels that are specific for hating other people. And no matter how many subscribers you get, no matter how much money you might make, my opinion, which means obviously very little, but my opinion, that I hold lightly myself, such a channel can never be viewed as a success. Even if you're making $1 million, they can't be viewed as a success. Because at what cost? Making someone else feel bad, hurting someone, that's certainly not a success. And you certainly pay a price for it. You might not realize it. This is why, the Buddha said, you're not punished for your anger, you're punished by your anger. Anger itself is the punishment. So that's just some of my thoughts on, my road to 4,000 watch hours. Once more, I got to repeat it. It just would not have been done without the Mochas and the Goldies and the Burpee Reapers, Mayhem and Miracles and the James Gype Gype, Flower and Night Watcher showing up. day after day after day. Um, every single person, um, building that community, which again is just so much more important than having subscribers. Squirrel Semper says, one will receive, but one projects. That's universal law. Can't argue that. But of course, you also can't talk someone out of it. There's no amount of um, conversation, no amount of attempting to change someone's way when they're intent on doing what they do, when they believe that they're in the right for whatever reason, when they believe that it's the right thing to cast judgment. Amazing thing is, so many people might say, I'm a Christian, and yet casting judgment. I'm a Buddhist, and yet projecting hate. Or I'm a yogi, and not abiding by any of the 5 yamas: non-harm, not lying, not stealing, not hoarding, um, protection of our energy. No one who claims to be a yogi could do what's going on. And some, I don't call out any channels. It's not for me to do. That would be a judgment on my end. Just my thoughts. My thoughts are always that there's a better way. But it's also how we learn sometimes. Sometimes we got to go down the wrong path. And in that case, is it really the wrong path? We can't say it's the wrong path if in the end it brings us to a realization that what we're doing hasn't served our own best interest, let alone the best interest of others. So in that regard, it's the right path. However, it certainly is a long, long path, and it's a long path filled with a lot of suffering, a lot of sorrow, and a lot of grief, not just for other people, but for yourself as well. There's an easier way, and the easier way is always choosing love. The easier way is always asking yourself, wouldn't I rather be at peace? It's that realization of, I can choose peace instead of this. Every little bit of discord, every little bit of anger and projection thrown out there becomes a teachable moment for ourselves, not for other people. Other people have their own lessons to learn. It's not for us to point out and say, this is your lesson. They'll know it. Our lesson is, if we're in the middle of it, can we say to ourselves, I can choose peace. I don't need to respond to attack thoughts. That in this moment, I forgive. Forgiveness is always instantaneous. It's not something that we think about later and say, I'll forgive them. Forgiveness happens like that. And when it does, you're absolutely free. 100% free. Squirrel says, I know I don't fit in any groups other than an errant. Yeah, I think about that with tribes. I've largely stepped outside any tribe that might have had a hold on me at one time or another. I don't like political tribes. I don't like religious tribes, because whenever you have a tribe, you got to pit yourself against another tribe. And then there's no winners whatsoever. So, tying this all back together on, and again, this isn't calling any YouTube channel out whatsoever. Everyone has their own path to walk. But just keep it in mind, we can always choose love, and it is never, ever wrong. However, if we introduce our own concept of love in the mix, it might be a longer path than it needs to be. Love is beyond concept. There's no greater description of love. We'll bring this up here. I think Goldie might know where I'm going with this. There's absolutely no greater description of love than, and it comes right up, one letter. I type in S. St. Paul's letter to the Corinthians. If I can get it to come up. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get up a bigger version so you don't see me squinting. So, we're going to read through this, as I love to do. This was the early days of me going live. Was just pulling up the things that I love and sharing them with people from all kinds of different sources. Early on, I had some people who were surprised when I would read St. Paul. And they would question if I was an authentic yogi, preaching biblical stuff. You know what? Wisdom is wisdom wherever you find it. And as I mentioned before, absolutely nothing more beautiful on the subject of love. Maybe some just as beautiful, but none more so. If I speak in tongues, if I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give my body to hardships that I may boast, but I do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. For we know in part, we prophesy in part. But when completeness comes, what is in part disappears. When I was a child, I talked like a child, I thought like a child, I reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I put the ways of childhood behind me. For now we see only a reflection, as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part. Then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. And now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. Sorry for the sloppy reading, guys. Don't need to be Christian to practice that. It's just recognizing love, and love is without bounds. Love is not part of any religious order. Love is greater than any religious order. Love simply is. And we can step into that because it's who we are in any moment at all. Here's what drew me to A Course in Miracles. One of the many things. And I feel I'd stepped away from A Course in Miracles for almost 2 decades. I had completed it after 20 years of studying it, putting it aside, studying it, putting it aside, because it demands the diminishment of our ego, holding the ego lightly. Um, and the ego never wants to surrender. So as long as I was relating to it from an ego viewpoint, I could never finish it. But through a most difficult period of my life, uh, in the final stages of my mother's decline from Alzheimer's, my father recovering from a stroke, and he was her primary caregiver, so that meant extra duties for me. Going through a divorce, it was a difficult time, and I set aside, this is a year. This is when I want to realize the nature of my suffering. Why am I suffering? And I worked through A Course in Miracles. And yes, I gained a ton from it, but for whatever reason at the time, I knew then it wasn't the final part of my path, that I still had lessons in meditation, I still had lessons in yoga, I still had lessons in Buddhism. And it was still something that I returned to from time to time. In the past few weeks, it has called to me in a way it hasn't since I first picked up the book and the lessons. And I don't know why, but we'll find out. I think in part it has something to do with my YouTube channel. It's an easy thing to teach because, according to A Course in Miracles, we teach what we most need to learn. So if you hear me talking about teaching love, it's because I need to learn love, as we all do. And by learning, it doesn't mean that we gain information. It means recognizing. It means that we're taking away all the things that keep us from realizing that we are love, made from love, existing as love, and have never ever stepped off the path of love. Let's see. Ahmed says, in YouTube, if you support others, definitely God help you. I agree, my friend. I agree. So this was the introduction from A Course in Miracles. And it set off, again, a lifetime. I think I might have read this in 89 or something. And it set off a lifetime path, bringing me in other directions, bringing me back, bringing me in other directions, bringing it back. Here's the introduction. This is A Course in Miracles. It is a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks to the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, but what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can then therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So I read that decades and decades ago. Some of you were just kids. Some of you weren't born yet. Some of your parents were just kids. And again, it just set me on a path for life. Course in Miracles is telling me that I am love, and that I can't learn that, but I can remove the obstacles that keep me from realizing that. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. What does that leave out? So if I'm being threatened, it must be an illusion. It could be a very substantial illusion. It could be an illusion that causes me a great deal of pain. But it's an illusion nonetheless. So I turn to the real, which is love. Cruising is fun anytime. Says good afternoon. Good afternoon, my friend. Cruising is fun anytime. Certainly shows that showing up and listening to some good friends talk about cruising is definitely fun. Every time. Every single time. I've never had, I've never sat into a non-fun conversation with them. And I will continue. I hope you guys visit. Don't need to concern yourself if well, I'm not thinking of going on a cruise. You might very well be inspired to do so when you sit for a nice, fun conversation. I speak of experience. Ahmed says hello anytime. So yeah, Course in Miracles is a what is it, 600-page textbook, and then it has 365 lessons. Lessons are quite difficult because you're being asked to set your ego aside. Look at the world in a different way. One of the main objectives: do not seek to change the world. We never will. We will never change the world, but seek to change how you perceive the world. And that's a game changer. We can change how we perceive the world. If you look around and you think that we live in a world that is lacking love, if you think that we live in a world that is full of hatred, if you think that we live in any kind of world that has lack, you're absolutely right, because that's what we're perceiving. And we're not going to change it by that same outlook. We're never going to solve a world that has starving children by looking at a world of starving children. But if we change how we perceive the world, if we start looking at the world as the world of abundance that can feed every child that needs to be fed, we've had a paradigm shift. Buckminster Fuller, one of my favorite people to quote, talked about daring to be naive. To be naive means that you've just shifted your paradigm to one that doesn't yet exist. But no world has been created, no society has been created, no paradigm has been created using the same means, the same structure as the previous paradigm. You literally have to change things completely. You literally have to change how you perceive the world. So whenever someone tells you that something can't be done this way, I agree 100%. It can't be. That doesn't mean that we can't create a brand new way of doing something. It also doesn't mean that you won't. Makes the world a pretty awesome place. So, what do you guys think? Who's still with me? Anyone? I know Flower went to bed. A couple people have asked me where Flower has been, and she showed up and said she's been going to bed early, which is something that we all, I think almost every one of us, no more so than our friend Goldie, as well as Mocha and myself, has been telling her for quite some time. Go to bed early. Night Watcher finally went to bed early because he's not feeling well. I think I probably hurt Night Watcher's feelings a bit, taking away the mod status. Not here to hurt anyone. At the same time, got to be slightly protective. I do not want someone in another conversation think that they're communicating with me and what my channel represents, whatever it does represent. when it's, someone else doing it. Not upset at all. Just a matter of regaining some trust. So, guys, I usually try to make it to the 2-hour mark. And we're getting close. We're about 9 minutes away. Ahmed says, it's true, sir. Thank you for that. Ahmed, I always appreciate your support. You're one of the people that I've been mentioning that has most definitely helped me get where I am. Not only that, just a tremendous help that you provide so many people. Our friend Eric Lapointe and our friend Empress of the New Earth. And you're another one, as well as Goldie and Eric Lapointe, that I see everywhere. I see you showing up, just full of support for other people, all over the place. I'm looking and I see friend Brian Lane just did 150 one-pump burpees. Brian is always putting in the hard work. Let's see who else is up. I didn't receive a notification that Medic was going live. Our friend, the Burpee Reaper, is up. He's live.
Oh, man.
There he is. I hope you guys get a chance to stop by and say hi to the Reaper. So, guys, let's wrap it up. We'll end it a little early. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see a question here from Ahmed. What's your faith is no means, sir, if you are human lovers. I think I get your point. Faith doesn't matter without love. Very much agree. Very much agree. So, with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. A little bit early. That's okay. Some days it is. I'll be back in about 2 hours or so, a little over 2 hours. And we'll talk some more of this if anyone's interested. Anyone has any questions. We're just here to talk. We're here to discover. I appreciate everyone showing up for today as well. Big, big thank you to everyone across the board from day one, whenever that was, all the way to now. Anyone who was here for just a second has been part of this for me, and I thank you. Very much appreciated. Guys, I'll see everyone later. Take care.